Good afternoon, boys and girls, wherever you are, and do take a moment to tell me where you are, actually, if you can, because I always enjoy finding out where you are. And welcome to kind of episode 30 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, here on YouTube. And at this point, I would normally say I think we should start by smelling a perfume. Today, I think we should start with an explanation because this is going to be a little bit different and I'm going to feel weird rounding off the video in about 15-20 minutes because usually I settle down for the whole hour. One thing I have got to do first is make sure that things are all right on the old tablet. How do I do this? Somewhere this should tell me that I'm live. Yes, okay, things seem to be coming through. Bear with me. So, very, very quickly, so I'm not wasting time going on, and we do actually get to smelling some of these perfumes, a couple of these perfumes here. We have reached the 30th episode of Love at First Scent, and in their wisdom, in your wisdom, some of you followers out there, particularly Talia, I'm holding you responsible, said that to do something special for the 30th episode, and I struggle to think of what to do actually, so I thought maybe to have a kind of mini season of short for the next 5 days at least. I'm committing to 5 days. This is going to be difficult. For the next 5 days, you're going to get, what day is it today? Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday's day at least to get a brief. We're going to try and stick to this brief thing, people. You're going to get a brief 15, maximum 20-minute video from me on a single brand or a single new perfume, so that what we end up with is a kind of mini season of Love at First Scent, if you want to call it that. If we can stretch it to a week, then we will. So if everything goes well, we'll do one on Monday and Tuesday as well, because there's certainly no shortage of stuff for me to talk to you about. But you'll appreciate doing live videos, having a run of free days, being able to juggle commitments. And I mean, even this morning, I had to take a relative to a doctor's appointment. Stuff happens, right? Life happens, and I'm thinking, okay, do I have a clear run? Can I do these videos on YouTube round about the same time every day between now and Sunday? I think I can. We'll try Monday and Tuesday as well. So it's just trying to do something different. I think some people prefer shorter videos. I don't blame you. We'll try and mix it up from now on. We'll have some longer ones. I'm absolutely not planning to abandon the usual one format, multi-brand, multi-perfume. I'll still be doing them on Facebook as well. But that's the plan for today and for the next few days. And so while I'm talking about that, tomorrow the at exactly the same time as this, so 1 p.m. UK time. But on Friday, well, I've got to do it slightly earlier. So Friday will be midday UK time. I forgot where I was. But even if, obviously, it's wonderful if you can tune in live, but if you can't tune in live, the videos will be there. Well, I say they will be there. The technology was being a real pain just a few minutes ago. It always seems to be with YouTube a question of the orientation, in reverse, mirror style, which means that you wouldn't be able to, for example, read the titles of these books properly. But I presume you can because they seem okay to me on the little screen there. Right, I need to be quiet. What have we said? Just make sure I haven't missed a comment because I'm pretty sure something came up. I think it may have been, am I right? Was it Forever Fragrant Kid saying hello to you as well? Thank you very much for tuning in. Must be pretty early where you are, but maybe you're in a very much for tuning in. Okay. Today, what I've got for you, well, actually, what I've got for you is something that might be a little bit frustrating. 8 a.m. says Forever Fragrant Kid. Well, impressed that you can be in two places at the same time. Because as somebody who grew up in Sharjah, I know that they're not the same place, Sharjah and Dubai. So which one are you in? Are you in Dubai or are you Sharjah? And if you are in Sharjah, please tell me roughly where, because it would be amazing if you were somewhere close to where I grew up. I grew up in the Al Khan area. Sorry, just having a private conversation now with somebody who lives in my childhood haunts. The thing that I want to bring to your attention today is going to be a little bit frustrating for some of you because a lot of you will not be able to get your hands on it. And I ummed and ahed about doing this. And I thought, okay, what is the point of broadcasting to the whole world something that it's actually quite hard even to order online because the brand in question, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have an online retail presence. If anybody from the brand happens to be watching either now or later and can correct me on that, please do in a comment or something, because I would love for people to know how they can get your wares if they're not able to come to London, because this is a brand that has just a single shop in Marylebone in London, and the brand is, I can't show you one of their proper bottles, I haven't got them, but you can go online if you just, I think their website is Perfumer H, as in the letter H, perfumerh.com. If you Google that, you will be taken to their site. But I think actually you may even have to do a Google image search, because even on their site, I'm pretty sure that they don't have any pictures of their shop, of their retail space. They have a very, very minimalist presence online, which is in keeping with their thing. I'm very, very curious. Those of you who've tuned in so far, how many of you are aware of them? Can you even see that saying Perfumer H there? Hope you can. Yes, let me just look at it in the monitor there. Yeah. Perfumer H, the H stands for Harris, and if I were to say to you that the person who founded the brand, Forever Fragrant Kid, says yes, I'm guessing that means yes, you've heard of them. I'm not you've heard of them though, because you know there's very little you don't know about perfume. Raza says, I'm standing on the border of Dubai and Sharjah. Clever. So is it where the lampposts change on the Dubai Sharjah road, right? And I've lost your comment. Oh yeah, I grew up on Al Wahda Majaz. Well, there you go. We could have grown up very close to each other. Freaky thought. Of course, I have no idea how old you are. For all I know, you're half my age. The perfumer behind Perfumer H is Lyn Harris, and of course she is the Lyn Harris of Miller Harris. Miller Harris was set up around about 2000. A few years ago, Lyn Harris sold the name, sold the brand. The brand still lives on. Forever Fragrant Kid says, no, I could read the atomizer. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now, Forever Fragrant Kid, have you heard of this brand? Has anybody else heard of this brand? Lyn Harris sold Harris, and as you know, Miller Harris are doing very, very interesting things still. I'm pretty sure we featured one of their perfumes on a very recent episode. We did Violet Ida, didn't we? The powdery iris violet scent. But then in 2015, I hope that's right. Oh, you haven't heard them, Forever Fragrant Kid. Well, now you have. And we need to somehow put pressure on them to make their work available online. Anna says, hello from a gloomy and grey Toronto. Well, you know, if we'd done this episode, a couple of hours earlier, I would have said gloomy and grey south of England as well. But the sun is just starting to peek through the clouds, so we don't want to jinx it. Lyn Harris set up Perfume H as a single retail space, a single shop in Marylebone in London, just north of Oxford Street. Good evening from Indonesia, says Fahmi. This is incredible. We've got, like, you know, the United States covered through the Middle East and Indonesia. Thank you for tuning in, Fahmi. And she started Perfumer H with a very particular remit, and a remit that actually can be quite hard to communicate in a retail way, because, you know, consumers, obviously, as you know, consumers want retail messages to be fairly simple. They don't want things to be tricksy. They don't want things to be overly complicated. Regular viewers will remember a little while ago when I talked about Ostens, the new brand. I worried if their shtick might come across as a little bit too gimmicky. No, that's not the right word. That's not what I mean. Not gimmicky, just complicated, basically. Something that would be difficult to get across, because you've got the oils, you've got the perfumes. Ashfaq says, hello from rainy Dakar. Amazing. I heard of the brand, I presume, but there are so many on my list to try. I have another 75 samples to test. Yeah, well, you and me both. At least 75. Thank you very much for commenting, by the way. It's incredible. What's the weather like? You scent of the day. It rained earlier. Seriously. School used to close when it rained in Dubai in my time. And why do I say Perfumer H is a little bit complicated? Because Lyn Harris decided that she would do seasonal collection. every season, and we're heading into her summer 2019 season, she would do 5 scents, and I'm pretty sure that there's also a winter season, but not all of the scents would necessarily be new. So the ones that we're going to focus on today are her summer 2019 season, and she told me when I interviewed her about them that some are new, some are not. She looked through her back catalogue, as it were, and thought, oh, you know, this one would probably fit quite well with the themes and the ideas that I'm trying to explore for summer 2019. So she put them in the summer 2019 collection. I'd have to look through my notes, which ones are new and which ones aren't. But at this stage, I almost don't want to know, because I'm kind of more interested in how they hang together. So she has this changing cycle of collections. However, nothing is ever discontinued. So if you were to really fall in love one of the scents from the current collection, but it didn't seem to be readily available at her shop anymore, you could say to them, oh, you know, I really liked, I don't know, Suede from summer 2019. Could I please buy it again? And their line at the moment is that they commit to always making whatever you would like available, whatever has been available in the past to always be available. And she also has some permanent fragrances in the collection. So I mean, you could start feeling a little bit lost. I've had a few samples from them in the past as well, which I think are off camera. I don't think you... Oh, no, you can just about see them lying here. I didn't want to mix them up because I thought I'll forget which is which. And it's they haven't labelled with the year when they were released, because I don't know now whether my sample of, you know, Orange Leaf is from 2016 or from 2017. I think it's actually more recent. It may have been from last year, but I don't know, maybe because I put this in quite a geeky way, I would love for there to be a comprehensive Perfumer H website so that I could just look at what came out when and just map the whole brand out and its wears out a little bit more clearly in my head. But that's just me, and that's why I say that the catalogue is a little bit complex. Now, in terms of the style, if you were to do a Google image search, other search engines are available. If you were to do an internet image search, Perfumer H shop, that would immediately give you a sense of the style of Lyn Harris's work for this brand. I think the word zen, the term zen, is massively overused, but it's probably very, very appropriate in this context, because there is something very, very elegantly refined and restrained in that kind of Japanese way almost, of nothing shouting too loud, and also balance. What is remarkable about Lyn Harris's work is that, yes, obviously you can pick out some elements more than others because they're the ones that give the fragrance its identity, but you were struck by how seamless the compositions are. Personally, sometimes I actually, in a very, very personal way, and this isn't a complaint, it's an observation, I just wish actually some maybe shouted a little bit louder, because I think you all know out there that I can't help but admire the real skill and expertise that goes into making these particular pieces of work as impeccably balanced as so, having rabbited on and on and on, we should smell at least a couple. We're not going to do all 5 because that will then into a great big full-length episode of Love at First Scent. What I should have said, by the way, is please give me a thumbs up if you like the video, ask questions, leave comments. Broadcast, hopefully YouTube will not let us down and will actually make a permanent copy of this available. And then I will also link this to Facebook, so if you're watching on Facebook, please ask any question you... God, you would have thought I'd learn how to bring the... I was using it as an air freshener until a few months ago. Poison as an air freshener. Mind you, I'd love to have gone to her house then, it would have smelled amazing. And somebody else is wearing Chanel's Rue Cambon in the EDP. Where we won't go into the EDT versus EDP. So, Perfume Summer 2019 consists of, for your pleasure and delectation, consists of... Oh, the other thing as well is that each one is to be in a different theme. So Lyn Harris likes to explore different families. So there is a Petit Grain or Petit Grain, which is meant to be the sort of citrusy cologne. There is Pepper, which I think is meant to be the kind of light wood fougère style. There is Indian Wood, which is meant to be a woody scent. There is Suede, which is meant to be the leather, obviously. I want to smell that one because I was really taken with that one. And then there's also Dust, which is the Oriental. And there you go. There's a bit of dust for you, a bit of perfume dust. Everyone like some dust? Perfumer H. Now, knowing me as well as you do now, you can imagine that when I went through the list of the names of these perfumes, I immediately thought to myself, I have to smell dust. How's a perfumer, in an olfactory way, express the concept of dust? Or do they indeed even try to? Why call a perfume dust? The other ones, you immediately start getting where they're going. Indian wood, sandalwood, and actually, yes, there is a lot of sandalwood. Petit Grain, self-explanatory, and it is what it is. Pink Pepper, self-explanatory, and it does it very well. Suede has a surprise up its sleeve. Forever Fragrant Kid says, yes, dust would be my first choice. Absolutely, you have to smell dust, right? And Lyn Harris was taking me through these perfumes, and I'm thinking, can we get to dust? Can we get to dust? Because I need to smell dust, okay? So this is Dust from the Summer 2019 collection of Perfumer H. Email them, say I watched an amazing video about you and you need to send samples to Canada and Indonesia and Bangladesh. Where else did we have? And the Middle East. Okay. This did work a lot better on me. I am a bit on skin because we're not selling a huge number of things today. I cannot believe we're already at the 17-minute mark. How on earth was I cursed with this ability to rabbit on incessantly? Shvark says it was too strong for her. We're still on the poison, right? I didn't like it initially either, but since one of Antonio Gardoni's works, it is quite mild. Good point. Okay, Dust from Perfumer H. It really is fascinating because I'm smelling it again now. I make a brain connection, unsurprisingly, that I did the first time. And it makes me think of Garlas and Rouge. And I'm pretty sure that in the Black and White Luca Turin Tanya Sanchez book, I'm pretty sure that Habit Rouge is also described in terms of dust. I think they sort of call it sweet dust or something like that. And that exact same feel of dust particles floating in the air, except when you approach them, you kind of think they're not dust particles anymore. Are they actually? There was such a sensation of walking into some kind of magical fantasy room where all day long particles of sugar are floating in the air. That magical, truly magical sensation is somehow captured in this perfume. And I don't know exactly how Lyn Harris has done it, but she has somehow found the meeting point between sweetness, not cloying, and nothing fruity, but just really fine icing sugar. The meeting point between the sweetness and dustiness, and it actually makes you think: has dust always had a sweetness to it? I mean, I've done my fair share of dusting in the past. Madame Persolaise would probably disagree. I think I've done my fair share of dusting. And I find myself thinking, does dust always smell sweet? Dust certainly smells, I think, as though it's sun-baked, as though it's been lying in the sun and has had the heat of the sun seared onto its surface somehow. So yes, in that sense, with the link with Habit Rouge, you totally then get that this is a classic Oriental, really. And there's benzoin in there. I'm sure there are vanillic notes, balsams, resins, maybe a suggestion of iris, and yet it is all done in this super zen, super refined Lyn Harris way. You you could be wearing this, you would be absolutely you could be absolutely 100% convinced that you would never draw undue attention to yourself, that you'd not be seeing anything other than impeccably elegant and refined. And I would really love to know what somebody from a Japanese culture or from Japanese culture would make of Lyn Harris's work. I mean, if we're being stereotypical, they may find Dust a bit too sweet, but there's a leathery note coming through as well, but all really, really subtle. Right, I have already lied to you because we're almost at the 21-minute mark, and I said 20 minutes max, so we need to get this party moving. Fragrant Kid says, great description, thank you very much. It's a really, really striking perfume. And Scott says, are you the January Scent Project brand? No, simple answer. And Raz has just written, I'm 34, maybe half your age. No, you're actually a lot closer to my age than you think you are. You went to Dubai German Westminster schools. Oh, this is too freaky. We're not going down the Dubai memory lane thing. Abbey Rouge in the red cap has a slight cosmetic vibe in the start. I've lost a Suede as well. Because, as I said, Suede was, in a sense, the one that surprised me the most. I kind of got Dust when I realised that Dust was going to be a classic Oriental. I thought, okay, I get it. I can see what you're doing here. I can see why you've called it Dust. Suede was the real surprise. All of them are worth trying, by the way. The Petit Grain is a really gorgeous cologne. Suede, though. Suede, I was smelling Suede, and it's doing it again. Now, who out there has tried Olivia Jacobetti's En Passant for Frederic composition, with, to my mind, also a very strong note of Lily of the Valley? Forever Fragrant Kid says, yes, yeah, I'm sure lots of you out there have tried En Passant. This, to me, hello from Canada, says Aniko. Hello to you as well. Edmonton, Canada. This is incredible. People in Canada, hello. This is a sweeter, more floral version of En Passant, with, as it develops, a really, really, again, elegant, refined, restrained, balanced Suede note. And if that doesn't whet your appetite, then nothing will. A Frisia Suede, a kind of slightly marine, but not at all fakey marine. It's totally convincing, I think, because of the sort of cucumbery notes that Lyn Harris told me was in there. That the combo is just, it's just so beautiful. It's just, you know how En Passant is just heartbreaking. To me, it is heartbreaking. En Passant is up there with, like, Après Landais, of perfumes that just make you go, oh, Andy, I will save you from the evils of the world. And it completely has that effect, with that strength coming in through the Suede note, which it has to be said. So, I promised I wouldn't go over 20 minutes. I've lied. We're approaching 25 minutes. I have to stop because otherwise, I will really be in trouble if I do hour-long videos every day. Final thing was, I didn't know what to call these. We'll say that this was episode 30, scene 1. Scene 2 has to be saved for tomorrow, and tomorrow it is going to be a proper Love at First Scent, because I'm going to, in the sense that it'll be something I haven't smelt before, because I'm going to be smelling the brand new release from it now. It's called Experimentum Crucis, and let me just make sure I haven't missed any comments. This is crazy. Technology. I'm usually quite good with technology, believe it or not. Just very quickly, a few questions. Ashfaq says, has Dust one got anything similar to Petrichor Attar? No, I would say no, which is slightly sweeter. And Paloma says, I'm definitely going to track those down if I can in Ireland. Thank you. Well, it would be difficult for them to ship them over to Ireland, although, as you probably know, there are so many restrictions about posting perfumes abroad. Okay, so YouTube is being a bit funny with me now, so I think I better kind of cut my losses. Following is good. Please come back tomorrow for the new one from Atelier d'Orange. Until then, thank you very much for tuning in, and be Final question. Is Dust similar to Dior's? Save it, but it's all about,